What is up, guys? FrugalBC here today on a special birthday edition of the FrugalBC show, whatever you want to call it, my YouTube show. I want to talk about frugality and financial independence. Can you save enough? Can you penny pinch your way to financial independence? Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, guys? I always ask you this every show, but today happens to be my birthday, 42 years old, getting to be an old man and still somehow doing YouTube. I don't know how that happened, but if you want to really give me a great birthday present, I'd love if you hit the like button on this video and if you would subscribe to the channel, because that really helps me a lot. And I'd feel really good seeing that support. It's been growing well, and I appreciate everyone who's subscribed so far. So I want to get into a tweet that got me thinking about financial independence. And this can involve crypto. You don't have to be a crypto person for this to count necessarily, but really the idea is about penny pinching. So Cody Sanchez, who, just to be clear, I really love her. She's a great business person that you should follow on Twitter. You should sign up for her newsletter. She goes over like all the kind of sneaky ways that you can make money through boring businesses. And I like that because everyone thinks like, oh, I got to start the next Twitter or YouTube or whatever to be successful. And she's like, no, you can buy a laundromat and make tons of money and it cash flows. But she said something that got me thinking that I kind of agree with, kind of don't. So she said, buy the effing coffee. I'm not swearing just because of YouTube's algorithms. I want this to go to as many people as possible. She said, buy the effing coffee, penny pinching is a really slow way to wealth or something like that. It didn't copy well when I pasted it over into my notes. So I found this kind of funny because she also talked about another tweet said, prioritize making money now. Once you have savings and healthy cash flow, you can worry about investing in the startup that will take over the world in 20 years. So she's not talking probably about the same thing I am, but she talked about savings, and savings is very important. And how do you save? Well, you reduce your expenses. Now, I've made clear many times in my blog, and I probably said it on this channel, there's a very big difference between being cheap and being frugal. And when I hear the word penny pinching, I think of that as being in the cheap side. So here's what I think about when I think about frugal versus cheap. Cheap is going to a restaurant and ordering the very cheapest thing on the menu and then not tipping your waitress or tipping them very small or waiter or whatever. Just so you're aware, I tip. If I do go to a restaurant, I tip very well, especially post-COVID. I'm not really sure what it is about it, but I've really felt bad for people in that industry. I know they've struggled, so I want to help them. So I always tip like really well when I go. Frugal, on the other hand, is not going to the restaurant in the first place and making your own food at home. So I do go out to restaurants. I enjoy them, but not every day. I go out maybe once a week, sometimes not even that. I've become very good at making food at home, and I generally prefer it, especially lately because I've been losing some weight, and it's much easier to track stuff that you make yourself than to track stuff that other people make. So there's a lot of areas. So what does frugality really mean? Well, to me, frugality is about not wasting money. So it's not about like denying yourself. And I think that's something that gets lost in the whole latte argument, which is kind of what she's talking about. So for people that don't know, in the financial independence circles, there's something called the latte effect. And what that means is that, you take, say, your $5 latte and you think $5, well, that's not very much, but I did some math here. And so $5, if you got it every day, so we're saying 7 days a week, you got a $5 latte every day. That's $35 a day. That's $140 a month. And over a course of a year, you will spend $1,680 per year just for lattes. Now that's over 10 years, that's $16,800. That's over 10 years. So how much Bitcoin would that buy? Well, right now it'd probably buy you about 1/3 of a Bitcoin. But I guess the point is, so let's see, where should I go for this? So the point is, like, that latte every day is actually costing you quite a bit of money over time. Now, she would say, well, buy the coffee. Sure. The latte is an example. So it's not like people take it as like oh, financial independence, you just don't buy coffee. So no, that's not what it means. And there's plenty of things that are, it's about deciding what is important to you and what things are you just spending mindlessly without thinking about them. So you very well may think, hey, I'm buying this latte every day. This makes me really happy. I get a lot out of this $5. Great, go buy it. That's fine. I'm willing to bet that you have 5 other things in your life that have a similar expense structure that don't bring you that much happiness. For example, I can't imagine why anyone would own cable today. Like it's unimaginable to me because it's so useless. You have Netflix, you have ESPN Plus, you have all these streaming services by which you can construct an a la carte viewing experience for yourself on demand. So why would you buy cable? I don't understand it. I don't understand why anyone would buy cable. I'm surprised the industry still exists, but there are people who do. Another great one is health club memberships. So if you go to the gym, great, keep spending it. But do you know how many, the whole gym business model, by the way, is built on the idea of people signing up and never going. So if you're a gym, I saw this in real time with when I lived in a different city, a really fancy high-tech, high-end gym opened up and their memberships were really expensive. And then suddenly they reversed it and they were signing people up for like $10 a month. And then they slowly raised it. I think when I signed up, they were like 20 a month, which was still very reasonable. But I realized the whole reason they did that is because they know, because the industry standard is that they get people to sign up because they think, yeah, I'm going to work out, sure. And then they never cancel it because they think, no, I'm going to make use of that membership later down the road. Well, if you're not using it, don't pay for it. It's really that simple. You probably have, if you're not mindful of this, you probably have 5 or 6 of these subscriptions in your inbox, on your credit card statement right now that you could cancel and save money. And you could be putting that toward assets that earn you money instead. So the whole point of frugality and the financial independence movement is to take all this waste and turn it into assets instead. Now, where does that help you? Well, if I want to start a business, she mentioned maintaining a positive cash flow and having savings. Guess how you do that? You stop wasting money. It doesn't mean that you deny yourself. And so I spend roughly $20,000 a year. During COVID, I spent 17. And it's not because I don't say no to things that I want to do just because, oh, that's kind of expensive. I don't want to do that. No, I don't. I go on trips. I go out with my friends. I hang out. What I don't do is I don't have to go to the bar every night just because I feel like I have to be there. But I will go meet a friend here and there. It's all about identifying the things that aren't making you happy and not spending on them while spending money on the things that do make you happy. Mr. Money Mustache used to call that the happiness on investment, HOI. So I always like that one. I think, am I getting like a lot of happiness out of this? Or is this making me, am I just kind of like doing this mindlessly? So I felt like I had to say that because I don't feel like the latte effect is really properly understood by most people. It's not about that specific thing. It's just that it happens to be an example in a lot of people's lives. Now, I happen to make coffee at home because I like it. I don't want that sugary crap, frankly. I just want a regular cup of coffee, and I'm watching my health, so that's important to me too. These are like $4. These LaCroix waters, I really enjoy these. I should do a review on them. I think that's it brings happiness to my day, and it costs very little. But I'm happy to spend it. I'm not going to penny pinch on that. So she's right in the sense of like, I think penny pinching is useless, but also I think she sort of misunderstood, or at least she points at something that a lot of people misunderstand. So I think if you're not making the kind of money where you don't have to worry about money, then you should worry about money, or at least pay attention to it. Because what do we all want? We want more money to invest into crypto or stocks or whatever your preference is. As you know, I think I've said it before, mine's something of a mix between crypto and traditional stocks, index funds. I prefer that. I like having the slow growth kind of going and then the fast growth stuff going, and kind of when one's down, I can say, well, at least this is going up, and when the other one's up, okay, cool. So that's my approach. Not investing advice, blah blah blah. But I think the first thing you have to do, and I want to close with this quote from Robert Kiyosaki, even though I don't like him very much overall. I read his book and I thought it was terrible. But overall, but there's some really good things in there. The one thing that he says that I think is just gold is that poor people buy liabilities, rich people buy assets. So think about what you're spending your money on. Where are you putting your money? Are you putting the money into mindless stuff that doesn't really make you happy? Or could you be transitioning that stuff to buying assets that does make you money and grows your net worth? And as your net worth grows, you have more cushion to do things like start entrepreneurial efforts, to buy businesses, to build businesses on your own. And you have that backing, that capital backing you. That's always good. So that's where I'm going to leave it off. Happy birthday to me, I guess. It sounds weird saying happy birthday to myself, I guess. But if you haven't already, really love it for my birthday. If you'd hit the subscribe button, I really want to grow this channel. And I like the idea of one day being able to monetize this channel too. So, and I want to show this to as many people as possible. This is a message that people need, I think. So thanks so much for watching. You guys all stay cool out there, and we'll see you next time.